Welcome to Live, Let Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
Of Live.
Let Thrive.
What's up, Myka man?
Chilling, man. How you been?
Been good. Busy. Episode 98 coming at you.
Man, we've been moving. Episode 98, man. We're almost to 100. I keep saying that.
And we are. Yeah, one day you'll stop saying that.
Yeah,
We'll be at 100.
We'll be moving towards 200. But man, so what you been up to in your Airbnb world?
Well, this is a Myka and Steve episode because we hadn't done one in a while, and we have so much going on in our lives that we're like, yeah, we got to do one, just you and I, and get it all out there. And people like that. People like hearing that. So this is this episode. I've been busy as hell. You know, I told you. I don't know if I mentioned it. I think kind of passing on the other episodes where we interview people. I've been saying, yeah. I restarted I got back in the Airbnb world, kind of doing it on the underground a little bit.
Underground.
In a city that don't look at it too kindly, so I'm not going to say. I won't go into detail, but yeah, I've been doing the underground Airbnb thing a little bit, and it's good to be back into it. It's good, especially since I'm on an Airbnb podcast. It's good to have some stuff to talk about.
Definitely does.
And I guess one of the main highlights is I got a cleaner now. Like I never had that before, and it just makes life so much easier. It's just
okay.
Turnover thing, yeah. It's beautiful.
Got her on turnover B&B?
Oh yeah.
Okay. How's that working for you?
It's freaking amazing, dude. So,
okay.
I mean, she gets the baseboards, toilets, tubs, all sparkling clean.
Man, see, I might have to have her clean my Airbnb in Arlington.
I'll take my cleaner.
So. Yeah, send her a suggestion to me on the app. I have to use her.
So you're doing Airbnb in Arlington?
Will be soon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I have a legal one though. I have a legal Airbnb in Arlington I'm working with.
Really?
But it'll be in a while. It'll probably be in like 18 months because I'm getting something built. Yeah.
Oh, dang! You want to go into detail with that?
Yeah, I'm building a house. I'm gonna build a house. I'm gonna sell this current house, build a house. Once I'm done building it, house hack it. Then I'm probably see if I can get it zoned for multifamily, house hack it that way. And then, man, let everything come in, let the mortgage pay itself, live for free again.
That's awesome. So it's going to be in the allowed zone, I guess?
Yeah. It'll be loud zoning, because you can do multifamily. That's one thing I was worried about. I had a question about, like, I didn't understand, like, they sent that letter out, but they didn't specify where you could Airbnb. They made it seem like anybody can get a permit, which I didn't really trust. It seems like they were just trying to get anybody to send their information in. Because they didn't say, hey, you have to be zoned here, how they were saying at the meetings. But, like, in their verbiage, they didn't say, like, hey, you have to be in this area. So it comes off as anybody can Airbnb in Arlington.
If you have a duplex, yeah. A duplex or, like, apartment, if the apartment complex lets you do it, right? There's like a couple of caveats.
Oh no, they didn't say. That's what I was saying. In the letter, they didn't specify.
Right. It is a little bit weird. It is a little bit non-specific.
That letter pretty much came off as like anybody could do it. So I was like, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how that's supposed to work, but yeah, they came off very vague.
Yeah. So now, as part of you, because cities, especially shady ones like Arlington, Texas, they can change laws whenever they see fit and stuff. Now, does that give you a little bit of hesitance as to want to start it up, doing it, reporting to the city, doing the right way and all that stuff? Does that make you think like maybe I should just sample the waters a little first on the underground and then?
But I still have to get with the city and find out the rules because I don't know. They didn't explain it in the letter. So I'm going to get with it. And that's how Arlington is. They do stuff very vaguely and then turn around on you and say, oh, this is what's supposed to happen or that's what's supposed to happen. They were collecting taxes, then they ban Airbnb, so. Right. I don't know, but I'm going to talk to somebody down there, City Hall or whatever, and see what the exact rules are. since they never put anything in paper and in writing, so they can go back on your ass.
All right. They'll gladly take your money until then.
Yeah, and like they'll let you talk to people on the phone, but they won't ever, say anything. This is the rule. This is the standard. So
now all the people that did it the right way reported, paid the hot taxes. Now that they say, oh, yeah, I can't do it no more, even though you registered and paid the hots, they're probably not going to give them their money back, I don't think.
Well, no, they ain't going to give them their money back. Nah, that ain't how the game work. That ain't how the pimping work, man.
Pimping. We're getting pimped? Is that what it is?
That's pretty much what it is. That ain't how pimping work.
We're getting pimped from both sides because Airbnb's pimping us to use our houses to make their billions, whatever. And then the city's pimping us, too, to get that tax money.
For real, man.
Getting the squeeze.
Man, squeezing everything up out of you. But, yeah, man. But other than that, yeah, Airbnb, though, that's pretty much what I plan on doing because I'm sick of paying. It's crazy. Like if you just don't pay a mortgage for 2 years and you live here, it's kind of like, dang, I really don't want to pay a mortgage. So it's like, man, I'm gonna get something built that I ain't got to pay a mortgage on again. So
yeah, that's awesome.
That's the way to go. Especially if we have a recession coming supposedly. So if we have a recession coming, be prepared.
Yeah, that's the big question. So you say you're gonna house hack it at first. Does that mean you've always talked about wanting to build a house with a small house in the back, right?
That's exactly what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, an apartment in the back.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll do it that way.
And then and you get a zone for do what?
It's more sustainable that way. Then you can do it long term. Let somebody rent out the apartment in the back for a year, Airbnb it, whatever you want to do, corporate rent it. That takes care of your mortgage, or even if it doesn't take care of your mortgage, if you can get your mortgage down to $300 a month, that's better than $2,000 a month. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
gotta hack somehow.
What did you say?
You gotta hack somehow. I mean, everybody should. I've been thinking like this house here that we're staying at. That's this 5-bedroom with the pool. People are even guests that have already stayed at my Airbnb, coming to town for the Cowboys games, spoiler alert, I'll let you know where my Airbnb is. They've been hitting me up if I know anybody because they're like, oh, we want to come back. We're going back to another Cowboys game. All my Cowboys games have been taken already. But they, I was thinking, man, if I could just rent this house on some weekends, on the Cowboys game weekends. I could damn near pay my mortgage because this is a big ass house with a pool. I could damn near pay my mortgage just renting it out for the Cowboys games, and I'll just rent a little bitty, small something somewhere,
If you were to just rent out the weekends. Yeah, I know somebody who does that actually, but they rent out their house for the weekends, but they actually let people host parties there, so they might make 4 weekends, probably make $1,100 per weekend. So 4 weekends, you probably make what, $4,600, $4,400 a weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, so $4,400 a month. So that's covering your mortgage and probably another property's mortgage.
God dang.
Yeah, that was one smart one. But I noticed in Arlington, I guess they kind of already knew that. So that was one of the things in their verbiage is, hey, you can't advertise it to be for parties. So
they've been looking on the what is that host, the Bad Hosts Facebook page?
That or the host compliance, one of the two.
So if the city of Arlington sees Kiki's Airbnb party.
Oh, yeah. Those that they post in the blacklist page, yeah.
That racist ass page.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I think it seems like to me like the city of Arlington's just kind of been doing their homework on Airbnb and just kind of figuring out what everybody's doing, and then they kind of make stipulations around it and then give you vague language. So it'll be interesting to see how they're going to enforce it, though. That's how I look at it.
And I think we talked before on the show because I told you, I used to do Airbnb in Hurst, Texas, and I hadn't done it in a while. And then all of a sudden I got a letter saying that I need to stop doing Airbnb or short-term rental because they saw a listing on an old listing I had on what's the HOMEE, the VRBO. And so I actually talked to the lady and all that stuff, and I got her to send me the email, proof I said, oh, I don't even know if I have that one up, blah, 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 blah. I just, I BS'd her just so I could see how the hell are they popping me. I didn't have any pictures of the front of the house like we've been talking. I didn't have our name on there or nothing. But the way they popped, or they found the house, was a picture that I had on Airbnb of the backyard. And that's crazy because they had like, I guess they used all the satellite, all the Google Maps, all the whatever, MLS. And they found that the backyard pics of my house was similar to something that they found. And of course they have, computers crunching all the processing and stuff. And that's how they found my house. I was like, man, that's high tech. But it let me know for the next Airbnb to do no pics of the front yard, no pics of the backyard either.
Yeah. And I think, what is it? What is that company that, I'm not sure if HomeSnap might be able to do that too. I know if you take a picture of the front of a house on HomeSnap, it'll give you that exact address. HomeSnap does that. Yeah. But I'm not sure about the backyard though. Yeah, that's a little different. But I'm pretty sure HomeSnap can do that because I'm pretty sure Host Compliance, they're probably partnering up with like HomeSnap, Zillow, Redfin. You know what I mean? They got everybody's houses on lock. So
yeah, Host Compliance getting pretty strong, man. They're getting strong.
Yeah. They had a whole article about them, man. They're getting pretty not strong, getting bigger, and getting some money behind them. That's what it is.
And these cities are paying a bunch of money to get them in there to catch these Airbnbs.
Yeah, it seems like these cities, like they're kind of sick of Airbnb not complying, so they kind of going to third-party resources, which I don't know. They say that it's not for. They say that it's Airbnb doesn't give your information out, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't say I trust Airbnb enough to vouch that.
Now, isn't money the name of the game? Money's the name of it with anything. Now, what if all these cities start using this and they start cracking down and start stopping all these Airbnbs and are putting these bans in place? When are they going to be like, man, we went too far? We're losing. We used to get a bunch of revenue on these hot taxes. Now no one's doing Airbnb anymore. I mean, do you think it'll reach that point where cities will be like, okay, y'all could, start encouraging Airbnb again?
If they're receiving enough money right now as it is, I don't think they're going to ban Airbnb. You know what I mean? Like Arlington was taking hot taxes, and I mean, the hot taxes were kind of undocumented, if you know what I mean. Like it wasn't really just something set in stone. Yeah. If something, hey, you can send it to this over the phone, then you start sending it to that. It's almost like kind of like a scam. It's like, I mean, you can't really can you go to the city of Arlington and get a receipt of everything you paid? I doubt it. Might be tell you something shady's going down the local government, with them funds. Maybe they need to get into treasurer. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know.
I had a question for you.
Yeah.
And what I was going to ask Myka, something just happened in the Airbnb world is they're letting superhosts create their own URLs. Mm-hmm. Now, what advice would you give some Airbnbers, superhosts out there, how to create a strong URL?
None, because I haven't used it yet, because I have my own URL. Oh, and that URL doesn't help with any SEO from what I've heard, the research I've done.
Really?
No. It's just the URL you give somebody. Like, so let's just say you wanted Steve's Arlington Airbnb. You just give that to somebody. From what I'm hearing, I can't vouch this. This is just from what I've been hearing, reading from groups, different hosts. I heard it doesn't help with SEO. But you could have it help with SEO if you create your link and then create like a Facebook page and use the Facebook ad method, create a Facebook page, link that link to the book now. You could do it that way, which would help with your SEO and your ranking, keep getting people clicking on the book now, keep clicking on book now. Yeah. So I haven't touched it yet. I've seen it, but I haven't touched it yet. I might play with it a little bit tonight just to see what it's all about, but I haven't touched it yet. I've still been using my own personal links and my own personal I'm actually putting all my listings on my website now. So I'm going to start driving SEO to my website through Facebook ads. So yeah, I haven't touched it. I just heard too many things. I may test it tonight though, Yeah. So the URLs, I'm still not sure on those, but I'm just haven't heard that they're just working with the SEO, but I may test them. I'll probably test them. I'll do a test run on them, see what it does. But yeah, I've been using my personal URLs, which if Airbnb's URLs work, I will use them. So then it'll save me like $9 a month from hosting and all that for web forwarding anyway.
Right.
You tried yours yet?
Not yet. I was what motivated me to want to do it is I think I heard Jasper talking about it, and he was saying that I guess as soon as they announced that and they let people do it, I guess there was a rush on like major keywords like beachfront, condo, downtown, all these major words people were trying to jam in their URLs because they think that's what people search for the most. I don't know if that helps. Because you go on Airbnb and, in the search bar, I want to stay beachfront, boom, 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 Malibu beachfront. And then, so the first ones that have beachfront in it will pop up. Does that sound right?
I heard, what do you mean, just from a Google search or just from
Just from the Airbnb search, when people hop on Airbnb?
Yeah, from the Airbnb search, I don't know. I've been hearing everything from the Google search. Because I don't know. Because I think that Google search right now is holding more weight, but if this area, because I'm about to do it right now, see if I can actually fix that URL right now. But if the Google thing works, if the URL thing works, I'm more than dog down to do it. Save myself $9 a month from that web forwarding. But
now let's talk. I think, and you have your house through Wells Fargo.
Yeah, man, they've been pissing off everybody, haven't they? Yeah, Wells Fargo.
Scammers, dude.
What happened with Wells Fargo on your end?
On my end, I recently, well, actually, a good thing happened a few months ago. I got a PMI lifted on my Hearst house because they have a program where you pay a company to go in there and do a reappraisal. Because since I bought it like 2 or 3 years ago, the price, prices in the houses have gone crazy, right? So I bought it for $135. I paid for that appraisal thing. There's one that's kind of like, they call it a drive-by appraisal. But a guy actually went in there, and he's a real estate agent. He went in there and did like a little 10-minute check inside and out. And he compared it to, I think he was from Keller Williams. Anyways, third-party guy. And he went in there and checked it out, and he just compared the prices with the neighborhood, and he priced it at like $201,000. Mm-hmm. And that's just in a couple of years, from 135, what we paid for it, 201. So I hit that 78%, what's it called? That 78% mark, equity mark. Because PMI is supposed to fall off either at 78 or 80% once you have that much equity into a house, right? That's why people, when they buy houses, they put 20% down so they don't have to take on that PMI. Because the rest of the house, they already got their 20% equity. You know what I'm saying? Not reach 80%. You reach 20% of the equity. So anyways, I haven't been buying houses like that. I've been just putting the 3% down and getting into them, house hacking and jumping on to the next one. But with the economy just booming, I was like, I took advantage of that program and I paid for a reassessment of that house. And then the Navajo, the house in Arlington. And then my first house, the one in Arlington also, that one, the PMI, it's a FHA home. So you couldn't do that reappraisal thing on that one, but I just have to reach that point where I paid down, most of the house or most of the loan, or, if I get it down to 78%, whatever. And so the first one fell off. So I was surprised, man. And that was like, that saves me like almost a couple $100 a month just because that he praised it high and it fell off. The second one, they praised it kind of low, I think, when we were living out before this. So I went ahead and restarted a reappraisal. I testing it with that company that did the appraisal. And they're going to reassess and all that. And I was talking to Wells Fargo about all this, and they're like, yeah. Starting September 30th, all the rules and that stuff's going to change about the PMI because it's the investors are changing their parameters. I was like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, we're just the servicers of the loans. So whatever investors, actually have your loan, they can change the rules at any time. So even, theoretically, even if you did hit that mark where you got it down to you only owing 78% of the house, that might change. And then, it might continue throughout until the agreed upon PMI date that it's going to fall off just by making payments. And I'm like, even if I get it down to that, to that level that y'all said that PMI is supposed to fall off, you got 20% equity in the house. It's not going to fall off because I bought it and the agreed upon date was like maybe 5 years from now. And so I'm like, what, it sounds like a cash grab because, a lot of these PMIs are freaking high, right?
Mm-hmm.
You imagine how much money they're making on that crap. And
easy.
Yeah, and we all got homeowners insurance too. So this PMI crap's a freaking ripoff. And so I know they say it protects the banks and stuff, but imagine that you get into the level you're supposed to get to where the PMI falls off, and then you're the investors, who have the Wells Fargo's loans. It's like, I want you to keep paying that money anyways.
Yeah. Did you talk to somebody at Wells Fargo?
Yeah, at Wells Fargo.
Yeah. See, my issue was they changed my interest rate on my refi. But it's funny, everything happens for a reason because the refi didn't go through, but they approved me for like $50,000 and a business line of credit. So I was like, cool, I'll take that. You can get it in cash. So, yeah.
So you plan on doing with that? Getting a house with that?
Yeah, fixing up some stuff here, get a house, sell this house, so then after you sell this house, you can start flipping or doing whatever you want, just really just sitting back. But I know that right now I'm more comfortable when I'm house hacking, because then if anything goes wrong, you're, just kind of safe, because everybody's talking about the recession, which I'm like, oh man, which I don't know if one's coming, but you'd be in a better position, I feel like, if you're house hacking.
You hate paying a mortgage, man.
Yeah, man. I feel like seriously, let somebody else put the equity in it for you. That's how I look at it.
That's true. One thing I know we've been known to dog on Dave Ramsey a little bit, but I saw a little tidbit, and someone asked him about, well, what about the upcoming recession? And he goes, man, don't worry about what they're doing up there in the White House. Worry about what's going on in your house. I was like, that's pretty good advice, man. Yeah.
Dave has good advice. He has some good advice. He says some stuff I just kind of can't go with, but yeah, he has good advice, some stuff.
Because my buddies in the stock investment club are all freaking out, we should sell everything, and, because recession's coming and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's proven it's impossible to time the market. Unless you're an insider, us small fries don't know how to do it. So that's what happened when it freaking tanked last week. They would have wanted to sell everything, and then it shot up back to and more than it was last week. And you can't time the market, man. Just telling them, But I said the best investment anyways is real estate, because you buy it, you hold it forever, and someone else pays it off. I mean, it's a freaking perfect plan.
Yeah. Hope this dude doesn't ring on my doorbell. But yeah.
We're recording the show.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You have a red light outside your door.
But yeah, I mean, Dave has some good stuff to say. You got to worry about what's going on in your house. But yeah, it's can't really time the market, but yeah, you can watch little adjustments. We are due for a correction soon, because I mean, this market's too good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, we've been saying that since we started this show. We're due for a correction, right?
That is true.
We're due for a recession. It's still been going like gangbusters.
And then Uber came here, so Uber's coming to Dallas. So it's just like, I don't know. It's like, because I know in 2010, I don't think Dallas felt the recession as hard as like the coastal areas, like the Washington State. I know they felt it hard, but it's interesting to see, because so much stuff just keeps coming to Dallas. Like the Uber's coming. And by the way, they said Uber's having a trouble turning a profit. So I don't know.
Gotta get rid of them drivers.
Yeah, because that's the main thing. Their drivers is their biggest liability. Speaking of a recession, though, I did some research, and I'm not sure. Like I read a few articles. They all had kind of mixed topics. I talked to a guy about it on the forums on Facebook, and he was talking about, because we kept getting mixed information. And I read one article that said, I think that travel went down 1% every quarter during the recession. So it went down a total of like, after 6 quarters, I think it was like 6%, so 1% per quarter. But the thing about the article, it didn't tell you, it didn't necessarily pinpoint where people were traveling to and where was the travel going down to. I think it was calculating the travel coming into the U.S., which is, you really can't measure travel that way, because you have to look at, like, if you're coastal, like if you're in Seattle, a lot of your clientele might be clientele that flies into that city. But if you're somewhere like Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, we have a whole bunch of people coming up here just for the weekend. Like, someone may take a weekend trip to Dallas, or we may take a weekend trip to Austin or Houston. You get a lot of travel like that. You know what I mean? So I think it depends on your location too, like geographical location.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah,
big time. Not everybody can afford a ticket to Seattle, the West Coast, and Hawaii, and all that stuff. I'm sure Hawaii suffered.
Oh yeah, like Hawaii. I can imagine somewhere like Miami suffering, because I don't see how many people are just gonna pile into Miami. They ain't no flight. You know what I mean?
It's a long drive.
Yeah, it's a long drive. And I don't think they have like enough people. I don't know how many. I don't know the population of Florida, but I just can't imagine they have enough people to just bombard Miami without it being some outside influence. Like Dallas to Houston. There's so many people in Houston that bombard up to Dallas for the weekend. It's insane. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, also knowing that's one good thing to look at. Like, as far as if you're looking at like a recession and how it's going to affect travel, look at where you're located.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's true. Because people are still going to travel, and jobs still give you vacations even if there's a recession or not. You just, sorry kids, we can't go to Hawaii this year. We're going to go to freaking Houston, Texas, or San Antonio, somewhere close. You know what I'm saying? Or not for everybody, but yeah. And then of course, during recessions, there's about a bunch of airline flight wars, right? I mean, they dropped the prices. Remember, Southwest is like $29 one-way tickets to places and stuff. So I mean, people will travel. I mean, it's part of our culture. Can't just work, and not travel. I mean, I guess I know some people like that, but they're pretty miserable. But
yeah,
you got to enjoy life a little bit while you're here, right?
Yeah. Another thing that made me go ahead.
Oh, well, you brought up Florida, and I guess you have a bunch of Airbnbs in Florida, and Hurricane Doreen is headed that way. How are you preparing for that?
I'll prepare. It just gets hit and wiped out, and then they rebuild it. That's what happened a year ago.
It ain't yours, though, right?
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale, one of my places got wiped out in Fort Lauderdale. Well, not wiped out, but it got bad flood damage, but they had to go through and fix it. Yes, like it may be down. The only thing is it may be down for 6 months. But I'm happy I did the timeshare there, because it made me realize I probably would not want to buy a vacation rental there. I mean, I know insurance can rebuild your house, but it's like, man, you just missing that income. You know what I'm saying? If I have one here in Dallas, that's just constant income. But I mean, I guess I don't know how big the insurance checks are though. So
yeah.
But
because I remember that BP oil spill. Remember Robbie was talking about that guest we had on our show?
Yeah, did that hit Destin, or did that hit the Gulf?
Well, the whole Gulf was affected by it. People weren't going, and he applied for that free money from the city, right? They were giving free money to the people that were, well, it was BP had to pay out a settlement, and the city was paying like people that did vacation rentals and stuff a certain sum. I think he got I know he got over 10,000. I was gonna say like 20,000 payout because he couldn't rent his place at the time. You gotta apply for it, go through all the red tape and stuff, and hopefully get it. But he did all that, and he got it.
And the insurance rebuilt his house, right?
Yeah, they paid for that. The insurance and the HOA, I guess.
And the extra 20 on top of that.
Mm-hmm. So he made out pretty good.
Yeah, that ain't bad then.
I wonder if you can get insurance to cover your short-term rental losses. That'd be interesting.
You probably could.
You get insurance for everything, right?
Yeah, but they have 20,000. That ain't bad. Plus, you get them to rebuild it. You could use that 20,000 to cover your vacant, because vacation rentals, of course, they have their vacancy months.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, get you another house.
Not a bad deal. And what were you gonna say before I started speaking? Do you remember?
No, man. It was just going back to that. I was just talking about the recession and everything that was coming, man. But yeah, it was just traveling. Oh, just kind of like one good thing that I heard being talked about if there was a recession coming, and let's say you had a bunch of arbitrages, right? And a recession hits, and you got people moving out, downsizing, right? A guy made a good point. He goes, if you start downsizing, therefore you're now in a position where you can negotiate cheaper rent. You can go to your person that you have the arbitrage through, negotiate cheaper rent. After you negotiate the cheaper rent, you might be able to keep those units at a cheaper cost and recoup by Airbnb-ing them. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I never thought about that, especially when, like we said, we're in Dallas or Houston, that might work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then if you have that good rapport with the property management company, they give you a few more units. You keep building up that way.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, in business, you got to always renegotiate. I mean, just ask Zeke Elliott about renegotiations.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
They had him under contract for 2 more years, but let's renegotiate this a little bit.
Yeah.
He got paid.
Yes, sir. He did.
And that's we're talking about Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott, and if y'all aren't Cowboys fans, whatever, sorry for y'all, but but this is a quick story that kind of relates to business a little bit. Well, it's definitely business because he's a superstar running back. He's one of the best in the league, if not the best, and he had 2 more years on a contract that he was getting underpaid. So he's like, I'm not going to go to training camp for this season, and I'm going to be in Cabo, training in Cabo. He probably did train pretty good, but beautiful Cabo San Lucas. And while y'all are sweating it away over in training camp, and so call me whenever you got my money. So he wanted to be the highest paid running back in the league, and lo and behold, the season's going to start in a few days, and they got the deal done, and he didn't have to do any training camp, and he's the highest paid running back in NFL history. And all because he knew what he was worth. He knew what cards he was holding. He knew what cards the owners were holding. And he played his hand. And he played it hard and strong. And he freaking won. That's just it's kind of a lesson in life,
He did. He played it. He played it. Him and his agent, they played it to the right owner. I'll say that. Any other owner, they let Melvin Gordon walk. And they got a better team than the Cowboys, the Chargers.
Oh, damn.
You can walk. But they have a better team than the Cowboys, And the Cowboys, that was a good deal for Ezekiel Elliott, but the Cowboys about to suffer with that one. So,
and I've heard it. Sorry, we're getting into sports a little bit, but I've heard it both ways because the main thing is, he goes, our whole offense is built around Zeke, and that makes sense. I mean, you saw how we struggled when he was out those 6 games. We didn't make the playoffs that year, but he knew his worth to the team and how much. I mean, he gets 25 touches a game, and they build everything around him. So he knew, well, I'm just going to hold out until I get paid because I'm eventually going to get paid. They need me. That
offense is built around that offensive line. Because there ain't no way you got a quarterback that's as limited as Dak Prescott and you think that's because of Zeke? Nah, that's that offensive line. Dak Prescott ain't that talented. Zeke's a hell of a running back. But if you put Todd Gurley behind Dallas's offensive line, go ahead and chalk him up for $2K. That's the value of that team, that offensive line. Yeah, I mean, he's a great running back, but I mean, 6 years, that's the rest of his career.
Oh, yeah. Cowboy for life.
But, hey, I don't know. I mean,
I ain't mad at him.
No, I ain't mad at him at all, but I'm like, man, if this dude get hurt, you're done, Jerry. That's your whole premise right there. You put your money on that, but it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see.
Let's talk an actionable, because I know I need help with this, and I think you're the man that could give me a little bit of advice. Airbnb's running smooth, and getting the turnovers running smooth. Guests, following the rules to keep it on the download, and one good thing. We'll touch on the dropping the pin in a little bit, but one thing that I can't really find the most efficient way to do this, and you'll probably have an answer right off the bat, is how to handle trash day. I don't want my cleaners putting out the trash 3 days before trash day or the day after trash day kind of thing. And, it just doesn't always fall whenever they clean to put the trash out front. Luckily, I kind of helped with the situation a little bit. I got 2 more trash bins to put out back so I could at least have a place to put the trash while I can, until I get a chance to go over there and put it out front. But how can I handle the trash situation?
Oh man, it's funny. We were just, I was in Arkansas this weekend, and that's one thing that came up. But really, honestly, what I do with trash, I leave a nice little message to the guest at the beginning of check-in for them to take it out. And they usually take it out. We have one guest. Now, the only thing is if one guest doesn't take it out and it's full, it does mess it up because it takes a week to come back. But in the state of Arkansas, you can sit your trash out any day, and they still going to run. But I know in the state of Texas, you can't just sit your trash out there. You can get fined for doing that.
That was in the letter, too, the Arlington letter.
Yes, sir. You can't sit your trash out. But what I do is I send a nice little message that pretty much tells them or asks them nicely to take the trash out. And I'm actually trying to find it real quick. And it's just like a little snippet. It's to say, to help us keep a clean environment, the trash man runs on Wednesday mornings. So could you help us sit the trash bins out on here it is. Trash. Since we are not on site and we like to keep a clean environment, we would very much appreciate if you would be able to take the trash bin to the curb if you'll be staying on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Our garbage man runs on Wednesday morning, so we do ask that the guests take the trash bin to the curb on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning if there's garbage in the bins. Thank you very much for helping us keep a clean environment. That works every time.
And that works for those days, but what about Thursday, Friday, Saturday? So what about those days? Do you still tell them to take the trash out? Like if guests leave on any of those other days?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Listen to what I said. If you will be staying on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, our garbage man runs on Wednesday mornings. We ask you to take the trash out. Now, if they run, let's say they run on Tuesday or Wednesday, it gets full, the guest doesn't take it out. The only way to really do it is to sit it on the curb early or hope the next guest takes it out. What I told my crew to do in Arkansas was, hey, if they don't do it, just sit it out at the next cleaning. And they just sit it out, let it sit, boom. But then the guest will drag it back up to the house. Yeah, that's a tough one in Arlington. Because where does your trash man run at? Because I know you have
it's 2 days a week. It's in Arlington, it's Wednesdays and Saturdays.
They run on Saturdays?
Yeah, Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Oh, yeah, you're in North. So my question is this. Well, hold on. Yours should be easy then. You should be booked on the weekends. That should be easy.
Well, most people leave on Sundays. So that's going to sit out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
But you said they run on Saturday.
Yeah, the trash comes by Saturday mornings.
Yeah, so they take it to their Saturday morning or Friday night. You're booked on your weekends. They should easily be able to do that. Who cares when they leave? That ain't none of your business. You just want them to take it to the curb when the trash.
That's the thing, but I don't want it to sit out for a day or two, a day or two or 3 days.
It won't, right? They're going to come get it. I think Arlington just doesn't want the trash. Like if you loaded with trash up to the top, it's just sitting on the curb. But if the guy comes and gets it, you just have your trash bin sitting there. They don't care.
No.
Okay.
It's not. They don't have a trash bin. We have a recycle bin, but I'm not asking my guests to separate recycling and separate trash and do all that stuff.
Correct.
But we have a recycle bin. But I bought two regular trash cans that I got at Walmart, $10 each, whatever. And I lined them with a trash bag. And so they put the trash bags in there, and that's fine. And I could actually handle a couple of guests if need be, because I have those two and the recycle bin for them to put trash in. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, I still have to go by there at least once a week to go put the trash out by the curb. And because like I said,
are they taking trash bags to the curb?
No, they're putting the trash bags in the trash bins I have out back.
Okay, so tell me what you need done.
I need it put out front before the trash man comes, the night before. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want it to sit out there for 2 days.
Okay, so tell them the night before exactly what I do. Tell them to take it out. They take it out. Trash guy picks it up.
To take out other people's trash that were there before then?
What? Yeah.
You say,
even if it's there.
Oh no, I don't want to. I don't feel comfortable asking them to take someone else's trash out.
You're not telling them to do that. It's how you word it. You got to go on wording. I'm just telling you, hey, all you're doing is telling them, if the trash bins are full and you're there on a Saturday morning, we just ask that you, to help us keep a clean environment, just take the trash to the curb. It's how you ask.
It is how you ask, and I just had an idea, and I was like, well, shit, I could just say,
start a company.
Hey, I'll give you. I did have that idea when we're talking, because I went to the city hall things a few times, all the squawking and the people bitching about Airbnb. And that was one of the main things, because they put the trash out there for days, before the trash man comes, and just piles of trash, and that was one of the main complaints. And so I didn't want my house to become that. And so, but I was thinking, man, all you need is a pickup or a couple pickups and some Mexican bros that I know, and I just pay them a little bit, and that they'll be Airbnb trash pickup for these people. They'll take them to the dump, because the dump, they don't charge much, right? To go drop off a load.
That's a good question. I don't think they charge much.
Right. And I was just like, man, just get a couple pickups, be picking up doing all the Airbnb turnover trash. Boom. I'd be making some money. But you just gave me an idea, just brainstorming right now, which is why we should brainstorm more often, I think, on the episodes. And but you asking the guests to take the trash out, even if it's the trash from the previous guests, I could put it. Shit, I'll give them $10 off their stay or something like that if they do something.
Man, Steve, you're always trying to give somebody some money, man. Just tell them to take the trash.
I don't even like touching people's trash. I'm not gonna ask my guests to touch someone else's trash, man.
It's how you're asking. You're asking them that. I just ask them, hey, if the trash is full, take it out. If you're putting that in their head, if you tell them, hey, I know this other people's trash, they don't give a damn about that. Just take the trash out. Yeah, man. Steve loves giving people money, man.
That's the only way I could think of solving this. But I don't mind going out there, but I do use that.
Matter of fact, we're going to put my little message about trash in the show notes so people know. You can just politely tell us. I'm telling you, everything is in how you ask.
Yeah.
It's how you ask them. If you sit there and kind of put emphasis that, other people's trash, then it looks kind of like, oh, hell, I ain't going to take out no trash. I would be too. But if you said it like that, I'll be like, okay, I'll do it. But, or, most of the time, well, also another thing in your problem is most of your guests are going to come in on a Friday.
Yeah.
So
there's no trash. Well, there might be trash.
There's a possibility there's trash and it's full.
Right.
Yeah, I'd really just tell them just ask them to take it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ask them to take it out. I haven't had a problem, man. I only had one problem. Guess who didn't take it out, and then it got full. Now we had to sit it out early. But yeah, just ask them to take it out.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'm really trying to bulletproof my Airbnb because it's I'm handling now the underground, and we'll talk about the underground a little bit. And we talked about the before, and theoretically, but I'm actually took some steps, took some actions, and followed a little bit of that advice. And how you said that lady dropped the pin in the water?
Oh, yeah.
I dropped a pin at a certain business nearby, and we heard this advice from another a guy on one of those Facebook pages. And people have there's only been 2 or 3 people that have asked, hey, I looked up the address after you approve them and all that stuff. And of course, put it on strict so you won't get those poachers, coming around trying to just book your place just to look at the address kind of thing and then canceling, kind of like that. So put it on strict so they can't do that crap. And then, so anyways, people have been asking me, hey, it's showing this business right here. I was like, yeah, we're close to that. We're down the road from that. Here's the thing: the city of Arlington and Airbnb are going through some issues right now. So in order to protect our home, the privacy and stuff, we do that, and then we'll send you the actual address the day before the booking. Which, if you cancel the day before the booking, I still get all the money anyways. You know what I'm saying? So that would deter people from just trying to book your place, just to see the address, just to report you, just to whatever, something like that.
There is a hole in that system, and I just found it out.
Uh-oh.
Airbnb has an automatic. Let's say you book 2 months out, right? The only way to bulletproof that system is you have to have a cap on when they can book, because the only way to do that is they can't book 14 days out, because there is a cap. If you book 14 days out and you book the place and it's on strict, you can cancel. You can cancel and get a full refund.
Yeah, 14 days. Yeah.
Yeah, in 14 days.
That's what I don't.
Which
okay.
I know you dropped a PIN, but did you type in your real address?
No.
You didn't type in your real address?
I typed in the address of that business.
Okay. So it's still a possibility that could work because Airbnb just started enforcing that because I just had my first cancellation where they cost me money because they booked and then canceled. And I was like, man, but I was able
to cancel 14 days out, right?
Yeah. But, and it's automatic. They don't stop it anymore. You can't choose. But, I mean, I don't know. But if you have it hidden, I don't think it would affect you. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out in the future because I didn't really like that whole thing.
I mean, so far so good. Guests have been understanding. They're getting a good deal. They're getting a good place at a good price, and fitting all their needs. And it's right down the road from that business, and so they're understanding. And they, I tell them park around back. Have the fence that opens up and stuff, and said park around back. They've been doing that. No street parking at all. No trash out front. Yards kept clean. And so and if they're gonna hang out outside, they're gonna hang out in the big ass backyard like that. So it's been going pretty good, man. And people really like the place. Been getting good reviews and getting a shitload of views, and that leads to bookings, of course. And I think what really spiked my viewership, my views on there, was I got professional photos taken.
Oh, you did?
And yeah, and so a friend of mine on Facebook, shout out to Sarah. She does home staging. Like professional home staging for really high-end houses, high-end apartments. So she puts she does a badass job. Looks like HGTV stuff, high-end. She makes a lot of money doing it. And so, anyways, I noticed. I was like, you do really awesome work. You're also a photographer. You take pictures of your work. She goes, oh no, my friend Desiree, she's my photographer. She does all my pictures. I was like, oh cool. I was trying to look for a professional photographer. She goes, yeah, hit her up. So I hit her up. We talked about the square footage and all that. And she said, okay, for that square footage, I can do it for $120. I was like, shit, that's like a one night stay. Hell yeah. And I saw her portfolio. She does MLS pics, MLS quality.
I thought you said one night stand. But go ahead.
For $120. That's inflation right there.
Yeah. Go ahead, my bad.
But yeah, so I was like, that's a good deal. I saw her work, and she does really great job. And so I went ahead and booked this for the photo session. And she had there's nothing on your walls. I have some old furniture paintings if you want them. I don't even need them. I was like, yeah, sure. So she put some of those up on the wall, or I put them up, and she moved around some. She found some throw pillows I had, made it all look fancy and shit. And she had some of these, I had some of these fancier plates. She put them on the shelves. She did it like HGTV style. I was like, wow, my house looks great. Put some bowls and pots over here. Set up, told me to get some baskets so she could put the stuff in baskets like that's on your counters because guests they need counter space, especially you're gonna advertise for a house for families. They want to see in the pictures like a lot of counter space. And so I had a little bit cluttered, but I just had all the necessities out. She goes, put it all in a little basket, keep it all nice and organized, and it makes so much more space. And so I did all these little tips, and she took these amazing pictures. Like, holy crap! It looks like a MLS ready, like a high end house. And people, my ratings, my views just shot through the roof. Bookings, I've been getting booked like crazy, and people love the house, dude. It's just, photos are very important. I think they're really important.
Oh, have you fixed your weekend problem? Steve was having a problem with people sniping his weekends.
I called this theory because what happened, I threw my listing up there on Airbnb, and I didn't put it on Price Labs yet. I didn't do all this stuff, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 my September just getting started. They sniped all my weekends, and it looked like I call it the rib cage carcass effect, because it looks like you ever watch nature shows where the lions eat all the stuff out in the middle, and all you see is the rib cage poking out. And that's what it looked like on the Airbnb calendar. You just saw like Friday over here, or Friday, Saturday over here, Sunday over here, all the way down. And nothing in the middle the lions didn't eat nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
All that was left, or they ate everything in the middle. All that was left was weekends. But they sniped. They booked all my weekends in September. I was like, man, this is terrible. And so I managed to get a few more. I filled up the rib cage a little. I filled up the inside a little bit with a few more bookings. And then I went out and I did what you said. I used price slabs. I made it like minimum 4 days. If it's like 40 days out or whatever it was, like a minimum 4 day stays. And actually I've gotten those. And so they're already filling up more fully than my September that got just freaking gutted, dude.
It happens, man. I'm telling you, yeah, you gotta set. That's why I love price labs. You can set that up because that'll kill you. People sit there and snipe those weekends.
Shit, yeah. And the good thing is September is shaping. It turned into a $3,000 month, which is good. And I texted you, I was like, man, this house is in great location, big house, really nice. I was like, I want to get, my goal was to get to 3,000. I'm already there. I was like, I'd love to have 4,000, but should I just aim at 5,000 and see what happens? And how would I get to that $5,000 mark? What could I do to get there?
You're asking me?
I'm asking you, how do I get to a $5,000 mark? Yeah.
Man, just improve your experience. Improve it every time. Just improve your experience. Pay close attention to your reviews. If they say something's out of line, even if they give you a 5-star, if they say voice any concerns, take it in as positive feedback. See what you can do to fix it. You can't fix everything, but fix most of it. Small little touches, man. That's just what it is. Pay attention to your feedback. You can get up to $5,000 a month. Yeah.
One thing that crossed my mind, and I've never even had one for myself, like a killer patio. And I have a big patio out back. And I was wondering if I should invest in like high-end patio furniture. And I say high-end, I don't say new, it don't have to be new, but like higher end, even on the Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something. Because I'm sure people sell that crap all the time, or unless you have an inn where I can get some really nice outdoor furniture.
Outdoor furniture? Yeah, I don't really have any. Facebook Marketplace, that's all I would say on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big one.
It's been slim on there. But I mean, and then the winters, they say winters coming, not in Texas, not till freaking November, right? Or December.
Yeah.
It starts getting cold. But I'm already picturing I could paint a little scene, have some nice furniture out there, have the fire pit right there. I think just people will be like, wow, that's a cool spot. I want to stay there, maybe I can start bumping up my prices now that I'm getting better, higher, good reviews, great reviews. And
you should possibly put a fire pit back there.
I have one of those caged ones, those like there's like a little bitty ones you buy at whatever Academy, and it's like a metal one, and it opens up, has like a cage, and you put the wood in there, and I have one of those.
Those will work.
So I will set that there and put some nice chairs and stuff. Get some pro pics of that, and just paint the. People like to look at Airbnbs and they picture themselves in there, paint the story. If I see one with the balcony, with overlooking the beach and stuff, I'm like, man, I could already picture myself just chilling on that balcony with my coffee in the morning, in the evenings, just watching the sun go down. I'm already painting the story for myself. And I think people will do the same right there at the Airbnb. Oh, that's some really, really nice patio furniture. That's better than the crap I got at Walmart. And so they picture themselves lounging on that patio furniture and just got the fire pit going, and just having some drinks with their friends. It's just, you want to tell the story for the people.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, just like small touches like that. You keep doing that, you'll keep getting those increase in bookings, be able to increase your price per night, stuff like that. Just got to continue on, But one thing I was really looking at, like to really, really make a lot of money off of one listing, is kind of going the Peter Bayhood route. Those exotic type homes, the tree houses, the girl who does the dirt house in Oregon, man, they're making like $300 a night booked at 100%. That's where the money is, man. Like if you really want to make money on Airbnb, you have to make a themed house. It has to be a themed house. That's what I'm looking at. If you want 5 properties on Airbnb and you want to just retire off those 5, you need like one of those themed houses where you're making like $300 a night.
It's kind of that
95% occupancy.
kind of like the Al Williamson advice, right? Why get 10 or 20 houses when you can make the same in only like 5 houses, but just maximize what you have. Maximize what you have.
Yeah, man.
And so, yeah, it's been a good ep. What do you think?
No, sir. We have our main topic to talk about tonight. Man, the main topic. If you guys are in the on Facebook, you may know who she is. A lady was arrested for trying to fake a home invasion in order to evict her tenants in her San Francisco home. Man. That went all the way bad, man. She faked a home invasion. If you guys don't know who she is, I don't want to call on nobody's name on here, but if you Google it.
It's national news. I mean, I don't know what you're protecting.
It was, what was her name? Renu Sa. That's like her name on Facebook. Like everybody's, like she's in all the Facebook groups. And I had heard about it, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. I heard what she was talking about. She had some guests in there. They were staying under 30 days, and they ended up squatting on her. And of course, it's in California, friendly squatter laws. They squatted on her, and I don't know how long they were in there, but she ended up she faked a home invasion in order to get them out. And they called the cops. They shut the lights off on them and start kicking down the door, yelling, and they got the cops called. And man, she went to jail. Man, it's all bad.
So
Don't do that, by the way.
Don't do that. Yeah, I know Myka's BS'd about sending homeboy out to go get these fools out of his house, but I don't think he'd actually do it. Hope not.
Depends on the demographic of the property, but go ahead.
So you've seen this lady from the Facebook groups.
Oh yeah, I've seen her.
And did she put her problem out there on the Facebook groups before this happened?
She put it out there. I've seen it before. I just didn't pay attention to it, and I didn't know she was about to take this action.
And you know what? When I read the article, it said something about they met through the Facebook app, but she wanted to handle business out. They did an agreement outside the app. That's what they said in the article.
Yeah, she messed up with that one. That's her fault.
Yeah, and then these Facebook would only let them stay a certain amount, and then she could have got them out, right? But she probably did something outside. She wanted to save a few bucks and keep all the money, and so she let them in there, and they did a little agreement themselves, and then boom, all of a sudden you got long-term tenants, baby. It's a different deal.
Oh, see, if that's what's happening, yeah, that's on her then. Yeah, that's on her.
Because I don't know what kind of contract she signed with them or whatever agreement they said, oh, we'll just be here a few weeks, here's the money. And then they just stayed. And then she didn't have a lease and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, she was in a tough spot.
Oh, yeah, she might have messed that up herself all the way bad.
Because you handled outside of the app before, but you always sign them into a long-term lease, right? Or you sign
that's not really handling outside the app. That's just technically putting you on a lease. That's just me leasing my place to you.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean? What she did was that's going, especially if she didn't lease it to him, like I don't know what she was doing. But I mean, and it's not, it's really not her. It's just a matter of, it's really just not knowing. That's all it is. It's not knowing. That's all it is, some stuff you just don't know. You trust people, people take advantage of good people, and I hate to see her in this situation,
So with this article also fails to mention, so now that they threw her butt and her family that helped her do this fake home invasion thing, they threw their asses in jail, right?
Yeah.
So these people that were squatting there, now are they just staying there in the house totally scot-free, and then they don't have no one to pay rent to because her ass is in jail?
They've been paying scot-free. They've been staying scot-free. It's just now they ain't got nobody to worry about knocking on the door. I mean, but this is my thing though. If she's in jail, it's her property, and she can't pay the lights, water, gas, whatever. That's going to get shut off, right? Oh, well, never mind. They really could just put it in their name, I guess.
I don't know how that works with squatters. I know it's illegal for you to shut the stuff off on them, though.
That's what I heard. I know that too. I heard a bunch of people were talking about that.
That's insane. Yeah, California, man, they're very renter friendly over there. So if you're gonna go do some squatting, go squat in Cali.
I wrote in the show notes, don't buy a house in Cali. Don't Airbnb in Cali anyway. But I mean, I don't know. It's sad stuff. I hate to hear that for, but yeah, it's SOV. I don't know how much her criminal charges is going to be and all that.
Oh, damn. Yeah. I mean, that's Because she had weapons, right? They had knives and shit. I mean, it's like you're threatening
I'm
people's
not sure.
lives. It said knives.
I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put the link to it on the show notes and the YouTube and the my LinkedIn article and all that stuff. I'll link you guys to it. I'll let you guys read the story for the people that haven't heard about it. But yeah, she went straight gangsta on them, man. I wouldn't be planning no home invasions. That's next level, man. I don't have the intestinal fortitude for that one. Fake a home invasion? Yeah, you next level gangster with that shit. Yeah, but I don't know. But yeah, well, hope the best for her, though.
Hope the best of the whole situation. Man, she might lose everything because of this. That's crazy.
Man, for real. That's true.
But you been reading any books lately, man?
Books? Oh, I'm always reading a book. Right? I'm always reading a book. I'm reading 2 books right now. I still haven't finished. I'm at the end of Cash Flow Quadrant. Man, that's a damn good book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my main one I'm reading.
You're all about actionables. What actionables did you put in place when you read that book?
Oh man, it's really, that book's about actionables, but that book's about taking a look inside and seeing where you're most comfortable. Looking at you, he goes into spirit, money, finances, all that. He goes deep into it, man. And yeah, it's just really about soul searching and finding yourself. Like, are you a B, a I, S? You know, you self-employed? You know, or where are you most comfortable? So, yeah,
I need to check it out.
Yeah, I need to check it out. But yeah, right now I'm just focusing all my time mainly on just trying to get this house built. That's my main focus, and after that, I'll start looking at more investments.
Did you already find a spot?
I'm looking for a lot. I found 2 lots, but I'm still looking for lots, and I have to get the survey to the builder, see if he can approve it, and then we go from there.
Oh, okay.
The problem, and maybe some of the listeners can help, the problem I'm facing is I can buy a lot, and it's going to be in a neighborhood. I've already made sure the neighborhood's no HOA. But the problem is, it's the house that I want built, the floor plan, it's one of those houses where there's an alleyway behind the house where the driveway is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to get it built in a regular neighborhood unless they flipped it to where the driveway was in front, but it would look kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I just know my buddy JB from work, the one that, he was doing that cable thing back in the day. I told you that get all the channels for whatever, $30. And well, his wife was wanting to build their own design and build their own home out in Cedar Hill. That's
where I'm looking at land too, Cedar Hill.
Yeah, and they already had all the plans to do it and all this stuff. They bought the plot and they started, but man, it became a big, huge ordeal because they were trying to do things how they wanted to do it. And they had to submit all these for these permits and this and that, had to get the surveyors out there, had to, you have to have a certain distance from the front and you have to have certain, it was just such a headache. They were at it for like 6 months trying to do this. They just said, screw it. They got so fed up they didn't end up going through with it,
Yeah, you gotta have the faith for it.
Yeah, if they would have just done the cookie cutter like all the other houses looked, then they wouldn't have had a problem. But she wanted to build her own idea.
I'm building the floor plan that's already built.
Okay.
I went to the builders that built the house. They already have it's already their blueprint. They're just gonna build it for me where I want it. That's the easy way. Yeah, that way stressful, man. Trying to pick out everything you want in it, the marble, how you want this set up. Like, nah, I found your floor plan. This is the floor plan I want. Build this.
Yeah, it just kept adding up more and more money, and it was just, they just gave up. They just gave up.
For real.
They went and bought an already existing house instead.
Yeah, it's crazy though. They said you save money when you build your own house.
They say that, yeah.
Especially if you buy the land. That's the biggest caveat. You got to buy the land.
Right. Yeah. Interesting, man. Interesting. Real quick, one thing I've told you I have a problem with is organization. Mm-hmm. And that's just a big tough thing with my mind. That's scatterbrained. I got all kinds of crap going on. But I just I've been wanting to read this book for a while. I got it right here, sitting here. Can you see it?
Yeah, David Allen, Getting Things Done: The Art of Stress-Free Productivity.
Yeah. And I've heard people mention it, and I've heard it. He actually was on the Bigger Pockets podcast way early on. You know what I'm saying? Like before they even got to 100, I think. But I heard this guy. Wow, this guy. I mean, it makes so much sense, you know. And the main thing is just he's saying, okay, one thing he says is our brain is great for ideas, but it sucks at holding them. And so you just get all these great ideas going on in your brain. You don't write them down. You don't have your processes in place to actually turn them into something. And that's his main thing.
All ideas and actionables, man. You got to write it down. I said it before. If you're driving and listen to a podcast, write that shit down. I don't care if you got to pull over. Write it down. Yeah, by the way, those of you that are watching the YouTube, I just held up a whole page of stuff that I have actionables and stuff, and Steve started laughing. That's why.
The whole notebook. Yeah, the whole notebook.
Yeah.
Okay, but he would take it to the next step further because he does say that people do write things down, whatever. But he'll have it where he calls it your inbox, not like an email inbox, but actual physical inbox that you have on your desk. You might even already have that too. But okay, you got all these things. You got these. You narrow it down to these great ideas you want, or things you need to do, or whatever, and you start putting them in this inbox. And it's just it could take an hour, it takes 6 hours. He works with a lot of executive CEOs and shit. He goes, we could just sit there and everything that's in their brain that they're wanting to do, or they're stressing them, or this or that. We just fill up that inbox with all that stuff, because then the next step is to like weed it out. What can you do now? What can you do later? What can you put on the back burners? He has all the these processes in place to actually get these things moving, get you doing stuff with them. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, writing stuff down, that's the first step. But then what are you gonna do with all that notebook full of stuff? You know? Yeah,
got to take action on it. See, Colin Cowherd said it best, man. He said, those that are self-motivated are always the greatest ones. Because if you need Tony Robbins, yeah, you're gonna be great around Tony Robbins. But when Tony Robbins ain't there, you're gonna be right on that couch eating pizza. Got to be self-motivated. So when you got that list, if you self-motivated, it's gonna go for itself.
Done dizzle.
Yeah, man. It's just about being self-motivated. You just got to self-motivate yourself. You got to look at one way I do it that helps me be self-motivated. I look at the end picture. Once I
visualization.
Once I visualize and I know the end picture, I can start chipping away at it. Start chipping away.
So you already see that house built and all badass.
I already got it built. I already have a tenant back there. I'm already sitting on my couch watching football, not paying my mortgage. Straight up. Yeah, man. You have to have that, because you have to have some people like I like the process too. If one good thing about it is if you like the process of the grind, you'll be straight every time. You love like the process of the grind. Most people like the end point, the celebration. But me, once I know I'm sitting there watching football, I got to go to the next thing. It's just my personality. Yeah.
I keep moving.
Yeah, you got to like the grind. Once you like the grind, that's really what it is. The power. And if you like the struggle, the grind, Now,
is your ultimate goal still to move to Ghana and chill?
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, get up out of here, man. Hopefully. But I'm not really focusing on retirement anymore. And I'm going to tell you why. When I was off work those 7 months, I really realized, man, retirement's overrated. Even when you retire, you're going to want to do something. And what I've noticed, like my parents are retired, right? My mom, my dad, their biggest joy is managing the Airbnb. That's their biggest enjoyment in life. Like they just came from a cruise, I think, not too long ago, but they enjoy managing the Airbnb because there's only so many places you can travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only so many places you can travel, only so many places you can go. So
they manage your Airbnb in Arlington. I'm sorry.
Little
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one thing they love doing. They've even taught my niece how to do it. My aunt mostly does it because she knows the whole process of turning over a place because she was a manager of a Embassy Suites for a long time, and she knows how to fold the bed. Oh, here's a cleaning tip. I'm going to leave y'all with this cleaning tip. The 2 best cleaners. The cleaner that has hotel experience, but the next one is a cleaner that was in the military, because the military people learn how to tuck the beds and fold them real nice. Those are some good cleaners too.
That's good advice.
Yeah. So.
And I told you, I didn't say it on this show, but I was telling you about my cleaner that she, when I was blown away the first cleaner she did, how clean the house was. And even on the bed, she rolled up 2 towels, one in front, behind the other towel, and she put 2 bottles of water in front of each of the towels. Just a little touch like that. And I was like, wow, that's really freaking cool. And my buddy was like, oh, she must have been in the hotel industry. They do that in the hotel industry.
Yeah.
Do a little touch like that on the bed. I was like, oh, man, I got me a hotel cleaner.
Yeah, for real, man. Those are the best ones.
And so it's really cool, man. It's been a good show. I think so. We talked about some stuff.
We're going to be back for episode 99 and 100, man. At 100, we'll do something big for y'all. But, it's been a good show. Y'all holler at us at liveletthrive@gmail.com. Follow us on IG. I'm on LinkedIn a lot. Like, I've really been on there a lot, and I'm always sharing articles. I'm actually putting I put a lot of our videos on there too. So check us out on LinkedIn. Check us out on IG, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff.
Stitcher, everything, SoundCloud, all that.
SoundCloud,
You'll find
wherever you listen to your podcast. Oh yeah, YouTube. Go subscribe to us on YouTube for the ones that like to listen to the YouTube version. Click the subscribe button below.
All right, man. We'll see you on episode 99.
99. Peace.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.